Hey everyone, it's Armstrong here from Adai Miniatures. Today is my second day of struggling to lower my pile of unconverted cars. Yeah, so I have this Team Steel police car. It's quite crappy. How you can see, the wheels aren't the best rollers and the entire construction of the car is kind of crappy, but one thing, this is probably the only police car that I own right now, so I wanted to just use it, and you know, it have the markings and everything, so this is gonna save me a lot of time. And I was looking for my pieces, and I wonder, you know, if I'm gonna put a 3D printed wheels, but turn out that they don't have, you know, at hand reach enough 3D printed wheels, so I decided against it. But I found this little bit. It's a rolling whatever, just, you know, so I want to put it at the front. Of course, you know, the mount is kind of big and clunky and everything, but I think that with a little bit of sanding I can definitely achieve it, you know. So what I want to do is just sand the front to get somewhat clean connection here for this giant ram. So it's gonna mean roughly about this much, like about 2 millimeters of the front just have to be gone. So I'm gonna do it and be right back. So getting the front to this shape was much easier than I was expecting. I just cut through it with the saw and then used scissors to cut whatever I could and sand it down. How you can see, it's now lying very nicely flat, you know, as I wanted it. So I'm quite happy with the effect. There's not much thinking to do there. Just grab super glue if it is not stocked again. There is some small amount going, okay. I have a accelerant here. This one is in a kind of a stick, but better that than waiting 5 minutes for the super glue to bond properly. So yep. So now I have giant ram in front of this police car. I want to add some weapon to him, but you know, I usually put the weapon on the hood or on the roof or on the passenger side. So today just change it, put it on the driver's side. I have this futuristically looking bit. It's 3D printed. I don't remember what set it was for, yeah, but it kind of fits on the door. Yeah, it's a bit clunky, but yeah, it can be here. So I'm just gonna throw it here, and again just use some accelerant here on the piece. To be completely honest, it's such a weird idea. Like, spray was much easier to use in my opinion, but it works. So oh, come on, just yeah. Oh, it bonded already. Yeah, no moving. So yeah, I have a giant gun that somewhat covers the wheel, not really, but a giant futuristic gun pointing slightly down. But this happens. Actually, no, when it is standing on the thing, it looks just right. But this isn't enough for me. It's just kind of, again, not enough conversion. And I have these barrels. They are medieval barrels that I printed like 300 or 400 of them for a scatter terrain for Mordheim. But I have them in here, you know, and they can equally as well be used to convert this car. So I have this, and now I just want to throw them, you know, to cover the back window like that. It's gonna help me, you know, to avoid the unnecessary covering of the window. And by now, if you watch my channel, you know that I dislike doing windows. They are just, you know, not my favorite part. All right, it's still in the frame. Hurrah. And some plastic art, like always. The eye shape, I will make a couple of small plates. The bigger one, the bigger size one, I'm running short on, so I assume they're gonna have to buy more of them. Well, not that short, I still have quite a bit, especially for Gaslands needs. But it's running out quicker than I was expecting. Not that I use that much of it anyway. But yeah, I have this. I want to put half a cover of the front on the hood, and then I want to cover half of the window with the with one of those. And I was thinking as well something on the door, not necessarily the textured one. So this thicker one gonna go on the hood, about this much. Just, you know, it's very good with paints. It creates nice texture on the car. It catches the paint very nicely, so it's always good to add this detail to your car, just because it creates this much more interest. Yeah, so I have this. And now, is this big enough to cover half of the window? No. So I'm gonna use the smaller one. This much. And this is gonna be a little bit more fiddly. Yep. And up here, I guess. I know that I put it down, you know, and almost measure, but it's still my guesstimate. Yeah, it covers half of the window, that's just perfect. Now, that's it. And the driver's side, I didn't actually have good ideas for the driver's side at all. So maybe just cover the back window. And this car is kind of weird, it has a lot of these odd shapes. But I'm happy with that. Yeah, this is gonna go nicely for the back window. And you know, the window piece is kind of stuck out, so it's easier to glue it. You can see normally it would be just running all over the car, but this time around just glue to the window and stays there. That's awesome in my opinion. So even, you know, the little cheap car can be nice and useful. There's gonna be not too much of the sign police visible, but I assume that people can make out, you know, that it's police then from this and this. All right, and of course I have just flat white plastic card. I'm just gonna cut a few bits and just layer some more armor pieces. And where is my, oh, okay, my cutters and this. So what I want to do, I want to break the window, and hopefully this entire car ain't gonna break with it, but I want to have some cracks in it, like someone shot it. I don't know if you can see it, but it's all cracked. This is gonna help hiding the fact that there is no driver inside. The same with the side windows. Yeah, not too much pressure, you know, some cracks. And the same with this window in here. Yeah, I don't want to drill holes into the car itself because, you know, it's metal and it's gonna take ages to do so. So these little cracks in the window just show that, you know, this car is in the pristine condition, and as well gonna help me avoid putting a, what do you call it, putting the metal mesh on it. Like, as much as I like it, I did kind of overdo it lately, so, you know, I wanted to step away from it for like 1 or 2 videos. I wouldn't say more because it's a awesome little detail for those cars, and I just started gluing my fingers in. Everything goes a Millhouse. But yeah, maybe just one on the roof. Come on, be a nice glue. Yep. So here is my first police car that I made. And I'm just gonna turn off the camera for a few minutes, meditate on do I want to put anything else on it, and come back in a few seconds. So, how you can probably guess, I decided to do not add anything else. Just went and black painted all of the panels, and now I can just grab one of the brushes that I have, something bigger. Come on, I don't want to use the big brush. Okay, this is big enough, I guess, for the dry brush. Oh no, I have something smaller which is gonna work better for the size. I have this one too. Yeah, it's quite a small one. And let's go maybe with this one. I know that I use usually I'm using this one, yeah, Army Painter, but you know, sometimes I can change for Vallejo. To be completely honest, I don't even know how to say the name of the company properly. So yeah, and let's just empty it, and oh, there's still a lot of black. Let's go with heavy brushing. And I don't want to paint the actual car itself that have, you know, already color on it. I want to only weather it. So I'm trying to avoid as much of it as possible. Of course, I definitely gonna hit something here and there, but I can live with this. And those barrels do not really work very well in metallic, but I guess the scale really saves me in here. Yeah, just because this is just a Hot Wheels, you know, the scale really saves my hours. I don't have to be very good about details, you know, matching, you know, futuristic or post-apocalyptic look. It still works. Oh, there you go. A lot of black paint still not cured inside of this drum. Oh, all right. So now I need to find a piece of a sponge and be right back. I found a piece of sponge, and I have to throw a disclaimer here. I'm not a big fan of sponging. As much as this technique, you know, have a lot of people who stand behind it, I'm probably one of those guys who, you know this technique, use it sometimes, but I'm not the fans of it. As you know, I like control. Yeah, even though a lot of my work isn't extremely controlled, I still like to have control. And with sponging, you are abandoning this control completely. Well, not completely, but a lot of it. So, you know, like, sponging is okay, but again, not my way of painting, you know. Like, this pattern, you know, is great, but then, you know, if you want to do something else, it just kind of fights with you all the time. It can work nicely on terrain pieces, like if you are working on something for Dungeons and Dragons and you want to have sponged, you know, like the tiles, it's great. But again, for me, it's kind of a harder technique to work with, as I really like my control. I don't know, I guess I'm a little bit of a control freak, and I assume that my wife can confirm or deny. I would rather her deny, but you know, I know my luck. So some red, stay. And I want to add just a little bit of red, not a ton. And now I need to wait for this to dry. I don't think it's gonna take too much time. there's not too much paint on some pieces, so I want to use Nuln Oil and Argrax Earthshade to just muddy this car up. As we know, those two are great at doing that. Yeah, so just a lot of Argrax Earthshade. Yeah, and you know, just add it to the car wherever you think you like it, and I like it on all over this car. So, and the glossiness of the original paint of the car gonna help with this, you know, kind of moving around, not staying in one spot. How you can see, the paint is blotching in some places. Yeah, and that's the thing, you don't use washes sparingly, you really slap them on. And I even gonna go over the window. And now there's a need to wait, so again I'm gonna leave it for half an hour, but first I want to just pick up this from the roof. I don't think the roof will be so oily. This is gonna be just enough. So yeah, I need to leave it to dry, and then I'm gonna come around and add some Nuln oil. The Argrax Earthshade is mostly dry. You can see some of it on my fingers. Yeah, so let's get some Nuln oil. Not like this really needs anymore, but you know, just add some dirtiness to it. So yeah, this warden car looks like it wasn't, you know, back in jail for a while now. But yeah, this needs next 20-ish minutes of drying or taking out my hair dryer, so I'll be right back when it is dry. Getting the hair dryer out was definitely a good option. It helped to dry off this car very quickly. But what I noticed is this, that I completely lost all the metallic look on it, and I want to regain some of it, so I'm gonna grab the plate mail from Army Painter, and well, not this brush, this little one here, and just, you know, I want to get some of the metallic look on the tip of the spikes, yeah, because they wouldn't be so dulled down, I guess, in my opinion. Some more in here. I'm okay with the most of the plate being very dark, but I want to have the metal element, you know, the punched out metal element being more metallic looking, because, you know, this just became very dark and very dreary very quickly. And again, just edges of the gun here. You know, like if you have the same gun printed, you can paint like blue inside here. Yeah, but like I'm not very good with this kind of painting. Alright, I have this to that point, and I'm gonna just grab the sponge again and just do tiny bit more of sponging with the orange. So, you know, just test it on the paper. And you know, I have this darkened orange, and now I want to bring out just a little bit more. And because of the two shades of two layers of washes on top of that, it was dulled down. So now this is gonna look like completely different color, even though it's the same. Yeah. And yeah, do I have this blue somewhere around? I have very light blue. The thing is that this color is extremely transparent. Yeah, it's lovely. It looks lovely, but it's transparent, which, you know, especially on the darker surface, creates an issue. Like if you want this to glow, this color isn't the greatest one. You can see just kind of goes to die in those crevices. It needs to be painted on a brighter color. But if you do this, you know, just being patient and, you know, splodge some of it out, it's gonna start looking like a little bit of source lighting, object source lighting. Not a great one, but yeah. All right, and just one more thing to do. I need to unfold this because this is gonna create some wall for me. And I'm gonna take this brush. It's gonna be perfect for what I want to do. I have a bright red, yeah, and with this ram it would be a waste of opportunity to don't do some blood splashes. So you take a lot of red paint on your brush, and then just with your finger start splashing it out. Yeah. And your finger takes most of the color then. Okay, I need to do some more, and probably just, it's easier when you water it down. I didn't, so that's my mistake. And I have my airbrush flow improver, not flow improver, thinner. So yeah, just thin it down. It's gonna be more prone to splotching. Yeah, and now I have this on the brush, and just and some more, and I think that's enough. Yeah, so I'm gonna let it dry for a few minutes, and I'm gonna throw it on the spin table. And that's how my first warden team build turned out. How you can see, you still can recognize somewhat of it is a police car. And the cracked glass in the windows help to mask the lack of care for the interior, but you can still see that there is no driver in there, and the blood splotches kind of work in my favor. And you know, this is a form of therapy right now. You know, I'm trying to sort out my Gasland addiction, So if you like it, please rate, comment, subscribe, and all of that shebang. And of course, have a lovely day. Take care, everyone.